we're all friends of Andrew Tate. Of course, we're going to defend him. But on the other side, people are, and guys like Destiny, broadening the definition of human trafficking, right? And it's incredible.
People are saying that these are deep fake now, though. They don't believe. To be fair, that audio could have been BDSM/roleplay shit. It could have been. So here's the issue.
Last time we talked, you said you disagreed with Destiny on like Andrew Tate stuff.
Yeah, there's 2 disagreements I had with Destiny from.
No,
Tristan Tate broke the Red Bull drinking world record.
Why?
Because I'm the king of Red Bull. I'm the Red Bull god.
Are you?
Yes. Red Bull god. Yeah. Didn't someone write in the comments something about who the real king of Red Bull was?
King of Red Bull?
Someone wrote about the world record for Red Bull. So unless they were talking about me, I don't know.
Mark Evans.
Play it. So here's the real, Tristan, this is the real king of Red Bull.
Yeah.
This is the real king of Red Bull. Most cans of Red Bull consumed in 3 minutes. How many did he drink? 8 cans in 3 minutes. He is the real Red Bull world champion.
This is the actual king.
This video was posted in 2013. The sport's come a long way since then. What sport? I can take it. You can take it? I can take it. What are you talking about? I'm gonna beat his world record right fucking now.
What do you mean?
I'll beat his world record today in my house. Read the fucking rules. Tell me the rules. I'll set it up. I'll beat the record. 8 Red Bulls in 3 minutes. Hit it now.
What the f is their accent? What is this accent? How do they both have the same one?
Red Bull world champion. I'll admit he's a fucking shit. 9 minutes, 3 minute time. The time starts when you talk.
American/British? American/Bonger? US, half US, half UK? Okay, this is a problem. We gotta figure this out, guys. We gotta figure this out. We gotta figure this out. These guys are probably like creepy sex traffickers, okay? They seem like they'd be a lot of fun to hang around. They really do. They really do seem like they'd be a lot of fun to hang around. We gotta do better on the left, okay? We all have to stop being such condescending with brooms stuck up our asses constantly. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I look at like leftist people, I think about hanging out with them, or I have hung out with them. It's fucking miserable, okay? You guys are fucking losers. You're antisocial. You're too uptight about fucking everything. Not cool, okay? Figure your shit out.
I'm Bruce Rivers, board certified criminal defense lawyer. Remember I was talking to you a little bit about these women coming forward with these messages. I love everybody that comments, whether it's positive or negative. And we've, and some of you guys, you're just super loyal to
I have a sty in my eye or something, and I can't see it. I don't have like my right eye.
Andrew Tate, and I think that's you got to have somebody that you're loyal to, right? Not me. I mean, am I biased? Yes, I'm biased, because his words make me not like him. But that doesn't matter, because what matters is, what is he going to face, all right? And what is the evidence out there? So I can give my opinion all day long, but does it really matter if the evidence is not there? Does it really matter if the evidence is there? Let's just give it to you straight. Remember, he says, "I love you." Let's play. I haven't heard this, and I know what you guys are gonna say. I know what you people who have one ball in each hand.
You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this planet.
That's a voice recording controversial influencer Andrew Tate.
No way, man. That's AI. That's AI. There's no way he would even say that.
A woman in 2015. That audio, along with disturbing messages reading, quote, "I loved raping you,"
What, bro?
faces sex trafficking charges overseas. Vice World News.
Andrew Tate's got messages that like Mr. Girl wish he could have found of me. Like, I love raping you. Like, what the bro? Why would you say that shit? Pro tip, okay? If you love doing it, you don't say that shit out loud.
Published the messages and voice notes allegedly made by Tate. We want to warn you, they may be disturbing to some.
All right, you ready? Now, if you're saying this is AI, that would be a great defense. And here's the thing. I've seen Elon Musk talk about how they have this AI, and maybe it is, but this is going into court. And if it is AI, you're going to have to prove it, because it'll be almost presumed that it's the real deal, because you have to have somebody lay foundation. That's how this works. So you can't just get a piece of evidence in just because you say it is what it is. Somebody's going to have to say, this is the recording, of Andrew Tate, and it was sent to me. So whoever was the recipient of this, but let's listen.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I
Remember, that's exactly what I read to you in our last Mr. Tate video.
loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit?
I'm sorry, it's not funny.
I think I'd be offended if you strangled me a little bit. Now, keep in mind, some people like that, but if you're complaining about it, you probably don't have a safe word, and you need one.
You didn't f***ing pass out. Chill the f*** out. Jesus Christ, I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
I thought you were cool, so I could put my hands around your neck so I watch your eyes pop out and get petechiae all over the place.
And if I had actually hurt anybody, the Romanian police would have me in jail.
What? Now, is that AI? If I would have actually hurt anybody, Romanian police would have me in jail. Where are you? I think you're in jail. Here's the thing. We've only seen just snippets. You know, and let's talk about the procedure a little bit. There's the evidence gathering stage, which is what we're in right now. And I've seen some comments, you know, where people say, well, you know, they've come back and they've said that they didn't do it. He hasn't had an opportunity to cross-examine anybody yet. Well, no, you wouldn't at this stage. This is the charging stage. It's the very beginning. You don't get your opportunity to cross-examine somebody before you testify or before you get charged. You get charged, then you go through pretrial procedures. Maybe you have some motions. Maybe you make a motion saying that all these recordings are AI and they're really not. And so you file a motion with the court. And then you bring the women in and you say, she says, no, he said this to me. And, you know, and these would have been recorded on WhatsApp and apparently sent to them. So they would have the recordings. And if they come in and lay foundation for him, it is an admission of a party opponent. So it comes in as his own statement if it has sufficient indicia of reliability. That's kind of the standard. So this is just our little kind of follow-up to what we said before about these messages. And so, because, you know, we report as we...
Where is Pisco at? Do all criminal defense lawyers have like the same type of like husky quality to their voice? I'm trying to think back if it was just like, am I just thinking of like TV shows and like Better Call Saul and shit? But my traffic court guy also had like a similar, I'm remembering back in Kansas City, he also had like a similar type of like, do they all, is there like a school where they all go to practice like a certain type of accent or a certain type of like voice tone or whatever to
get information? And if it doesn't make sense, I'll tell you that. You know, do I like Andrew Tate? I think he's a pig, so what? But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to give it to you straight. I'm not going to lie to you about Andrew Tate. I'm going to give it to you the information that we have as we get it. And right now, we're going to have more and more and more and more of this stuff drip, 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 drip. The gift that keeps on giving.
You get what I'm saying? Because this is some BS. I've looked at I've looked at this case thoroughly. I've looked at the evidence that the Romanian authorities have, and they don't.
No, you haven't. You don't have access to all their evidence. Why would you say that, Byron?
Have anything? They really don't.
You've handled these cases back in your past as well. Yeah. So
I used to investigate human trafficking. This is not human trafficking, guys, whatsoever. Doesn't even come close.
You know what else? You know what else is funny is that there are a lot of people who purport themselves.
Oh, this guy, the Dodger, the guy that talks shit to me all the time and meat watches me and won't talk to me like a little fucking coward he is.
To be, I don't want to say legal experts, but just like you said, like we're all friends of Andrew Tate. Of course, we're going to defend him. But on the other side, people are, and guys like Destiny, broadening the definition of human trafficking, right? And it's incredible.
What do you think you like? I bring you to another country. I lie to you about wanting to marry you. I work you as a sex worker. I take some of your money, and you work with 70 other girls in a country where you don't speak like. If that's not sex trafficking, boss, what the f is? What do you think is sex trafficking, bro?
Well, it's like, oh, well, they didn't speak the language that it's human trafficking. No, man. What it really comes down to is everybody that's coming after Andrew Tate and guys like you guys, these are enemies of masculinity. And I think we need
I wonder if this guy knows, like, do you think if I were to ask him, what does Andrew Tate's cum taste like? do you think he would give me like a super detailed answer, or do you think he just kind of like, you know, oh, pancake batter, like he would just kind of like go over it? Do you think he'd get real into it, like, oh, well, the consistency, it depends, like, am I sucking him off when he wakes up first thing in the morning, like the good little bitch boy I am, or do I wait at night for him to build up a nice big fucking load for, like, well, I wonder what his answer would be. I wonder how detailed it would be as he sits there slurping and guzzling down load after load after load from this guy. These guys are so fucking disgusting, dude.
To start calling them that. Enemies of masculinity. That's what this is. And I agree with you 100%. This is 1000% a political hit job. And it's funny, even those on the other side, they realize that this is what's happening, but they pretend that it's something else. Hashtag Greta Thunberg or whatever the case may be, like she dunked on Andrew. Dude, that and those people.
Very good point. But you know why? Because they don't like him.
That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it.
They're turning a blind eye because they don't like him.
Yeah, if you don't like Andrew Tate, then he is guilty. That's ridiculous. That's stupid.
Yeah. And guys, so I'll hit some of these chats real quick, and then from this point forward, we're going to go 50 and up just so that we make sure that with the show is nice and concise, we can cover, because we got a lot to cover. I got some videos that we're going to play, etc. Real fast, John, did you have anything you want to add before I read these chats?
Sulfuric acid.
No.
Jesus.
I mean, I honestly just think that what they're doing to Andrew is just, I don't care if it was Andrew. I don't care if it was Ethan Klein. It's unjust.
Oh my God.
There's no
justice.
justice.
This Ethan Klein, I'd be defending his fat ass too, honestly.
You know?
I mean, right.
Yeah.
It's
wrongfully accused of rape.
There's no due process, and
there is, dude. He's literally in the court system right now. What do you mean there's no due process? What is happening right now? He's arrested. They're finalizing their evidence. They're gonna take him to court. They're gonna do a trial. I guess it's judges. Maybe you don't like Romania's due process, but it's a little bit hard to complain about the legal system of another country when you moved there specifically for that country's legal system. You understand you kind of lost the right to bitch and moan and cry about that when that was specifically one of the called out reasons why you moved there? This is some of the Tate messages that came in. People are saying that these are deep fake now, though. They don't believe them.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get f***ed by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather fuck? You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out. Chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool. What's wrong?
Vice came and stayed with him for a couple of days, right? And he invited him to his home in Romania, right? Very gracious guys, you guys know. And had Matt Shea there, and they recorded a bunch of stuff, and they ended up shooting this documentary. The thing that's strange to me is Vice is a very big media company. Why are they releasing it now in January when they had all this content? So it's the summertime, but that's a whole other thing, right? So that's the background. That's how they got all this footage. So Andrew gets arrested, and all of a sudden, now this documentary's coming out. Now they're getting text messages and voice notes, etc. So let's go ahead, and this is their main Instagram page. So they go ahead and they write here, quote, "I love raping you," what Andrew Tate told woman who accused him of rape, right? And then it says here, swipe left for voice note sent by Andrew Tate to a woman who accused him of a 2013 rape obtained by Vice World News. Tonight, Vice takes viewers inside Andrew Tate's secret society and compound in Romania and gives a voice to women who are allegedly abused by him. The Dangerous Rise of Andrew Tate airs at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Vice TV. Andrew Tate was arrested in 2015 over an allegation of rape in the UK dating to 2013 after a complaint from a woman who gave cops messages sent by Tate where he wrote, "I love graping you." And you know what?
I love how they just casually leave out the fact that he wasn't judged guilty.
Yeah.
It was the allegation right there, but they didn't say, oh, actually, and the police investigated, saw there was nothing worth of it,
and didn't arrest him.
And didn't arrest him.
So guys, all right, so we're gonna play this this voice recording, right? Go ahead.
I like that. Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get f***ed by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather fuck? You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out. Chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
Okay.
Am I a bad person?
Now, I also want to go ahead and play the stupid post from Impact on Instagram. All right. So this plays as well. They play this thing. So Impact also doubles on, right, and goes, Swipe to hear voice memo that a survivor received from Andrew Tate.
A survivor?
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
Yeah, they refer to it as reviver.
I will say the labeling people as survivors, bro, if you're a survivor, the next word better be like of this genocide, okay? Or like if somebody's trying to fucking kill you. The survivor shit is a little cringe. I don't like it. I don't know. I think it's cringe, but whatever.
So go ahead, Chris, unmute it and go back to the beginning of the thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Go back. Oh no, all the way back, Chris, all the way. Because I want to show them everything. So Impact posts, they go, Andrew Tate sent these texts and voice memos to a woman who accused him of graphic descriptions of grape violence abuse, right? So they're like,
yeah,
right. And then they go, Andrew Tate is currently detained in Romania on suspicion of human trafficking. However, before becoming famous, he was arrested twice on suspicion of rape and assault in the UK in 2015. The Crown Prosecution Service, CPS, decided not to charge him with any crimes because there was no realistic...
To be fair, that audio could have been BDSM/roleplay shit. It could have been. So here's the issue, right? In my mind, the same thing is happening with Andrew Tate that happened with Max, right? Where it's like, Max is saying, oh, well, I read a signal, I saw the body, and it's like, okay, sure, maybe you could have, blah, blah, blah. But then after getting to know him better, after watching him talk, especially that come with labs, like, okay, this is a manipulative, crazy motherfucker. So now when I go back and I think, okay, well, did Max read that lady correctly? Or was he doing the same shit that I've seen him do now today, where he's like a crazy manipulative motherfucker? Well, no, I don't know. I'm going to look at that a lot differently. Andrew Tate, I think, would be kind of similar, where it's like, before they were like, oh, these were things that were released. It was just some BDSM stuff or whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, maybe. But now with all the other stuff that's come out, well, now I look back on that other stuff and I think a little bit differently. Oh, I'm not sure now. Was it just BDSM stuff? I don't know. I don't know anymore. But yeah, obviously, more evidence has to come out, more testimony, more stuff in the courts, like to evaluate it.
Prospect of a conviction. I wonder why.
Exactly.
So it goes here. Our third woman has now...
Doesn't survivor mean it was possible, such likely they could be killed if they stayed? No, it's they do this cringe thing. Remember, people can never accept any negative part about themselves ever because it means they hate themselves. And we don't teach people to love themselves and their imperfections and whatever. It all has to be reframed in a positive way. The reason why people are using the word survivor now is because they feel like victim is dehumanizing. I don't want to be thought of as a victim of something. I want to be a survivor of something, right? That's why people are using survivor now instead of victim. That's the reason.
So Vikram, you want to discuss the stuff from the debate at Valuetainment?
I do want to address the face of this toxic masculinity these days, which is none other than our friend Andrew Tate.
We're gonna blame the men for your poor decision? You picked to do it.
That's great that you feel that way, but it's still sex trafficking. Your personal feelings don't matter.
They weren't complaining about the money.
But he was actively stealing from them.
Yeah, he admits
it's that. Not actively.
He literally said, when you're filling out these dumb women's tax forms.
Last time we talked, you said you disagreed with Destiny on Andrew Tate stuff.
Yeah, there's two disagreements I have with Destiny from that Valuetainment episode. The first one is kind of the more minor one. Destiny's take that college is generally a good investment for the majority of people. Mine is that it's only good for pursuing certain careers. And the second one probably is whether Andrew Tate is a net positive or net negative in terms of the messages he sends. So Destiny says he's a net negative. I would argue he's a net positive.
Okay.
Where shall we begin, boys?
Sorry, I think the Tate one would be kind of more interesting to the audience.
Alrighty. Yeah, so here will be my, opening statement. I would say that, Andrew Tate, he's not putting out there that's new. He never, he's not pushing out anything that's, revolutionary or something that's not around in the manosphere. But because he's very charismatic, he's able to reach a whole bunch of people who previously did not know about men's self-improvement in manosphere, and generally the message is pretty good. It's like, hey, you want to level up as a man, it's not easy out there, so you want to go to the gym, you want to get your finances in order, you want to be financially independent, right, so you're not relying on anyone, you want to be a leader, you want to protect, the girl you're with, right, so it's all these things that are generally good message. So if you ignore some of the crazier things he says, which is a lot of it is just hyperbole, and you just focus on the core messages that he preaches over and over again, it's generally good stuff. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that, I'm on board with his little human trafficking, whatever, thing that he had going on, allegedly. But, yeah, I think overall the core messages are good.
Yeah, and I would say that like if your core message has a lot of overlap in like some of the horrible shit you say, then I think it just works against it too much. It's hard to say that's a net good. So like if Andrew Tate was out here and he was also a flat earther, I mean, it's not like he's popular for being like a scientist, so I probably wouldn't care as much. I'd still think that's bad. You shouldn't contribute to flat earth bullshit, but like at least that's not what he's known for. But if he's known for takes on like men and women in the Matrix and relationships and all that shit, and he's also like a human trafficker and he speaks like really poorly of the women that he is accused of trafficking and everything, probably not. I think that there's too much overlap there in terms of like what he's known for and the really negative messages that he proliferates.
Okay, let me pose the question like this. You're somewhat familiar with me. Do you think that most of my content is like a good thing? Like, do you think I'm a net positive?
I'll cautiously say yes, but I haven't like consumed a lot of your content. You might see some wild shit when I'm not watching. I don't know, but I think so.
Yeah, I think you're generally on board with the messages that preachers against, like leveling up as a man, becoming a better communicator, learning game, learning to understand women better. Right? I think we kind of agree on that. Would your perspective change if you found out that, for example, in my personal life, I don't know, I'm really, let's just say like I just go from one bad relationship to another, right? So I've never been in a successful relationship. I just, oscillate between one destructive relationship to another. However, that doesn't change my message. So would the fact that my personal actions, that I'm not successful in my personal life, affect my message?
Nope.
Okay, so then I don't see why the fact that Andrew Tate is
because there's a difference between having problems in your personal life versus preaching what you're doing in your personal life. Now, if you were to say, let's say you had problems in all of your relationships because you hit women all the time, and you think that like if a woman speaks back to you, you should punch the shit out of her. But then you were also to give all of your relationship takes, I'd say, yeah, that's probably not good. I wouldn't think that's good. But the difference is Andrew Tate is like very vocally talking about how to abuse the system. He's bragging about how he scammed men for a long time. He's bragging about how he flew women across the world, and he brags about how he steals taxes from them. All of that kind of lines up in terms of like how he views the world and relationships and women in the Matrix. Like it's all kind of like jumbled together. There is no Andrew Tate fan that can separate one from the other. I don't believe it. I don't think that's going to happen. And I think that's been proven to me as I've argued with a lot of these people who are now arguing that like sex trafficking is like not a big deal because like, well, if the women weren't forced with a gun, it was probably okay. Like, I don't think that, I don't think that there are going to be Andrew Tate fans that are going to separate that messaging there. Again, if Andrew Tate's like controversial stuff was like, oh, I'm a flat earther, I'm sure there are a lot of people that go like, oh, his takes on relationships and shit are like really cool, but like the flat earth shit is kind of cringe. But like all of his other takes are right up his alley of diagnosing problems with the Matrix.
Yeah, so you said there's no really Andrew Tate fans who can separate those two. I would be an example of an Andrew Tate fan who can absolutely separate those two things, right? I made nuanced videos where I say, hey, this is good, this is bad, this is kind of neutral, blah, blah, blah. In my community, there's a lot of them, right? There's a lot of guys who are like, hey, we like this, this, and this, but we don't like this, and we think human trafficking is obviously like really messed up, and there's no way it could be acceptable, right? So
sure, okay, I'm sorry, hold on, I'll reframe that. Because I can never speak in hyperbole anymore, apparently. There's probably going to be some that can do it, but the vast majority, like 90% plus of Andrew Tate fans are either going to defend the trafficking or they're no longer going to be fans of Andrew Tate, right? Like there's just no way that in your mind you can hold those two things. Like if I give a bunch of relationship advice, and I think that most of the advice I give, most of it is pretty basic. I don't really say too many controversial things here. But if it came out that I was like a serial rapist, like nobody's gonna say like Destiny is really, the guy that got accused of raping like 7 women. Yeah, but like, okay, but ignore like the rape shit. His advice is actually really good. Nobody's gonna say that. Nobody's gonna feel that way. And the only people that will be left are gonna be people that defend me raping women or that's it. Those are the only people that are gonna be left. Everybody else is gonna leave.
Do you really feel like most people are incapable of like nuanced like opinions?
Absolutely, yes.
Interesting. Maybe we're just in two totally different communities. Like maybe in your community that's like a lot more common. I feel like in my community, like I feel like most of the people, of course I do have some of the cringy Andrew Tate fanboys who are like trying to do exactly what you're describing, but the majority of people, when I have like, Andrew Tate discussion, the majority of people are kind of like me, where they're capable of the nuance. They're able to separate like the good from the bad. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to come into agreement on that because we might just have two totally different experiences.
I don't believe any large community is capable of that. Like I've seen over the COVID shit, I've seen doctors fall prey to groupthink. I've seen like lawyers have issues with this. Like I have issues. Every content creator, like I think tons of people have issues with exactly this. I don't think there's any, especially not a community full of people that are capable of like super nuanced, instructive, like, oh yeah, I can definitely tell, like separate out the problematic aspects of this person. Like I think that that's an incredibly rare quality in a person. In an individual, in a group, I don't think that's to be found anywhere. But I mean, that just might be differences in perspective. But
Yeah, it could be different perspective. Yeah, because I would say that, like, again, I've debated against like Andrew Tate, fans and whatever, people who hate him, and it's almost always just like, hey, listen, if he's guilty of this shit, then that is a horrible thing, and we're going to denounce him. It's like, hey, listen, I haven't had any person who is like trying to justify human trafficking. Like everyone's like, hey, this is bad. Like this is obviously there's no way to defend that, but we just don't know if he's guilty yet, so we want to wait for the information. That's kind of the perspective I've been hearing over and over again.
Okay, well.
But going back to some of the things you said, when did he say that? When was he bragging about scamming men? I just haven't heard that clip.
He gives like a little thing on, I don't know what podcast he was on, it might have been some bongers, but he's basically talking about how he would get men like hooked to these girls. He would get the girls to tell all these lies about going to the embassy, take pictures there to get these men to send them money to travel, and then he'd make the girl continually make up excuses, saying like, oh, I'm sick, I got a headache, I couldn't go. Then the guys would get really upset. Then he would tell the girls to say like, oh, now you're scaring me because like you're being so mean, and they would never show up, and then the guys would come back and they'd keep giving them money over and over again like that type of scam. He would talk about running that over and over again.
Here's where the famoose would start. So it'd be good, like I had a lot of girls who worked for me, and the best was like the Ukrainians or the Russians. It was amazing. Because they'd get some guy, fall in love, they'd arrange today to meet, all this shit, I need a visa. Okay, get a visa. I need money for a visa. Okay, how much is a visa? It's $900. No, but it's not $900 because I went to the embassy. They think I'm a risk, and I need a return flight there and back, and I need a hotel, and I need to have spending money in my bank account. They won't let me come. Or how much you need? All right, 10 grand. Boom, it's 10 G's. Boom, thanks.
Wow.
Go to the embassy, take a picture outside the embassy, boom, come back. They rejected my visa. They said we have to wait 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, they'll give it to me. Okay, baby, boom. 2 more weeks of tips. Boom, 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 boom. Because now he thinks he's going to right? Thinks he get the girls. Now he's spending more than ever. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. 2 weeks come. Some other problem. Whether it's visa, whatever. We'd make up some bullshit, right?
All these OnlyFans chicks can learn from you, man.
Oh, man,
no,
bro,
but you know, like a free
people watch
free OnlyFans tutorial.
Yeah,
here in the
people would say, why did those girls work for you? Because the girls would work for me, and at 50%, because it was 50-50, would make millions per month. If they worked for themselves, they'd make nothing. I was the best in the game. Me, and I had a whole team of staff. The girl would only work 6 or 7 hours a day online.
So how did it end?
Bro, the story's just begun.
Oh,
you want me to tell you? I can shut up if you want.
Wait, you could have double dipped and started a coaching to coach these guys too, right?
I could have, but give off for free because I'm rich already. But so the girl would be online for 6 or 7 hours, but then when she logged off, was sleeping or whatever, on her WhatsApp, I'd have staff. She was online 24 hours a day. Her WhatsApp, her this. She was famoosing when she was asleep. We were bringing in money from the sky. We were promising all these meetings, all these pictures outside of embassies, all this shit. Eventually, the girl, what she would do is she'd say, oh, I don't want to go embassy. She'd give a really lame excuse to try and provoke the man to get angry. So she'd say, the embassy want me to come back, but I have a headache. That was the one we'd use. He'd be like, I just sent you $1 million. You promised you were going to come. You said you had to delay. Now you're saying you have a headache and you won't go to your appointment. To make him mad on purpose, because that would annoy any man. And then, that's what we needed. We needed a little trigger, and we go, why are you being aggressive? I'm not being aggressive, but you're not serious, da-da-da. And then we'd say, but you know what? I really like you, and I'm flying to the other side of the world by myself, and now you're being aggressive, and now I'm intimidated. And we'd flip it on him, saying, well, now you're being scary. No, I'm not being scary, but you know, it's your appointment. You're supposed to go, yeah, but I feel sick, and you don't even care. Female bullshit. Female bullshit. And flip it on him. Flip it on him. And he'd get furious, because we were really good at
sides.
Yeah, poking him to the point where you go like, you're a scammer, you scam me, you're really mad. I can't believe you think I was a scammer. I was gonna come, I went to the embassy, you're a liar. Every man in my life has only lied to me. I thought you—
So he's a scammer. Yeah, even the cam business he ran wasn't legit. Even if he did traffic the girls, even past trafficking the girls, he didn't run a legit business. He was still scamming with trafficked women.
You were different, da-da-da. Big beef, big argument. Yep. Big argument. But here's the thing. The guy would get pissed off, right, and leave, stop tipping her, stop coming to her. But for these men, that's the only chick in the world, the only hot chick in the world who talks to him. Maybe it takes a week, maybe it takes 2 weeks, maybe it takes 3 weeks. He's in bed at night, alone, jerking off, looking at her old videos and pictures, watching her stream again from another account so she can't see it's him, sitting there going, maybe she was going to come. Maybe I just got too mad when she had a headache. Maybe I should have been a little bit more patient and she would have been my girlfriend. And 100% of the time, in less than 3 months, with an apology, a brand new pile of money, and the cycle would repeat. We f***ing killed the game. Millions of dollars a week. And it was not just because I had beautiful girls. It's not because webcam is easy. It's because I am a genius. And I put together an apparatus of genius behind the avatar of beauty. And we f***ing conquered the internet.
He's just a scammer. I mean, like, I guess it's impressive, but like, yeah, it's just all of it is just scamming on scamming on scamming on scamming. Like, that's all it is. Like, now I just see the story of how he like defrauded his taxes and then like doubled his deposits at the bank by scamming the bank too. Like, that's all it is. Like, it's insane.
Okay, I'll just take your word for that one. Do you think that someone is capable of changing as a human being? Like, meaning someone could be like a fucking piece
Yeah,
of
of
shit
course.
drain, yeah, and then they become right. So I think the stuff you're referring to is Andrew Tate's older stuff, right? Where he was like focusing on the webcam shit. But in the last like 4 years, though, I feel like that's kind of, or maybe the last 2 years, like he's kind of like deleted that. He's moved on from that. And now he's focusing more on Hustlers University. So could you make the argument that maybe his overall effect used to be bad, but now that he's changed his message, he doesn't talk about the webcam shit, then now it's not like as bad, or it's potentially good?
No, he made his living and all of his millions being a scam artist. Like, why the would I give him credit now for starting a self-help shit when he's not even in a position to give that advice, right? He's like a telemarketer scam giving people advice on how to be successful. He doesn't know anything about success. All he knows is how to scam people and how to cheat the government and defraud women, right? Which he admits, all of those things he's admitted doing multiple times across multiple videos. So why would I say this guy can now come? That'd be like Bernie Madoff coming out and giving like stock tips or something, or like telling you how to like ethically run a business. Like, there's just nothing there of value.
Well, I don't think you I'm not asking you to like redeem him as a person. I'm just focusing purely on the message. I agree with you that in terms of some of the things he's done, it's really, really shitty, like admitting that he was stealing money from girls. There's no way anyone could like rectify that in their minds.
I mean,
like,
if he had like
really messed up.
if he had denounced his past actions or made like a big statement about it, then maybe sure. But like, he's never done that. He doesn't think anything he did was wrong. Do you think in your heart of hearts that he thinks that he did wrong with all that webcam shit and the scamming shit and everything?
No, of course not. He's way too much of a narcissist.
Sure, it's not like.
Yeah, but I'm talking about something different. I'm talking about throwing the baby out with the bathwater, right? So, because what I've seen is like, oh, like Andrew Tate is a human trafficker, so now like all the stuff he was spreading was misogyny. But just like when I look at the core tenets of what he was preaching over and over again, I just see a lot of like basic manosphere self-improvement. So I'm just like really weary of just throwing all of that out and putting it as like, oh, this is just human trafficking 101, right? This is because a lot of it is,
all you can do is adopt the message and either spread it yourself or find it in other people, right? Like, it might be the case that Hitler has like some good ideas about like running countries and shit, but I'm not going to recommend Mein Kampf to a bunch of impressionable teenagers because there's a whole bunch of other things that Hitler stood for that I don't agree with. And it's going to be the exact same thing with Andrew Tate. Like, there might be some basic like decent advice that he gives. He doesn't say anything new. He doesn't say anything like that's unique. Like, all of these have been said over and over again. Why the fuck would I give somebody that problematic to a highly influential young teenage male who's looking for guidance and character to like lead his life? Like, I'm not gonna have them looking up to fucking Andrew Tate, a scam artist that got wealthy and is now trying to be like a social media mogul. Like, no.
Yeah, I think okay, I see your point with the Mein Kampf thing. I think though that like if I was recommending Andrew Tate to someone, like someone very impressionable came to me and said, hey, I've learned about this Andrew Tate guy. I'm not really sure what to think, like I really trust you. Can you give me your perspective on his message? I'd say, well, listen, like this, going to the gym stuff, becoming financially responsible, going through hardships, this is all really good stuff. I agree with you. It's nothing new. This has been talked around for a while. But I think what is unique is the fact he's been able to reach a whole bunch of people who are not in the men's self-improvement community. The manosphere is a very small community compared to the average person, but now you have a whole bunch of like your quote-unquote normies who are following this advice of like, okay, maybe I should start working out, maybe I should start becoming financially independent, right? Which is, I just see that as like a good thing, right? But again, I acknowledge the fact that there's been a lot of bad done. I just like am weary of throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Okay. I mean, like if the baby was like radioactive, I mean, the water's going to be radioactive too, so I would probably toss all of it and just run a new bath. But I have another talk that I scheduled really quick. I'll give you the last word, and then we can chat later if you want. I don't know if this last one will last very long, so.
Yeah, for sure, dude. We can talk about it later. No, I mean, I think that's it. We can continue the conversation another time. That's just my thoughts.
All right. I love you. I'll be back, I think, in a bit if you guys want to chat more, okay?
All right, sounds good, buddy. Have a good night.
All right, sure. Have a good night, man.